Welcome to the month of December 2025 for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. This is your horoscope. We're going to talk about how there might be a really nice first half of the month where things are really flowing and glowing up in your long-term love life, if you have a relationship, in your social circles and groups of friends, and what you're all up to. And you might feel like you're really in the flow. But as we approach the second half of December, there's some warning flags I want you to be aware of where things can get a little bit turbulent. And some of you are also looking at perhaps the beginnings of a change of residence as we move into the second half of December. Well, let's get started and welcome if you're new here. My name is Lori Lothian and we are using the Western tropical zodiac whole sign houses. And as a lot of you know, this is the astrology of the traditions of the ancient world. I'm a traditional astrologer. This is not sidereal or Vedic astrology. In today's video, if you're listening for your sun sign, you're listening for matters connected to career, purpose. If you're listening for your moon sign, home and where you live. And if you're listening for your rising sign, it's your simulation avatar. It's who you are in this game of life as a character. And it often is, for most people, rising sign is extremely accurate. When someone's trying to call you, and next most accurate will be your sun sign, but both can be useful. Now, I will share very briefly two things. I think I have a members section up by now by the time you get this video, and that's just come be a member of my channel, get a bunch of perks, priority comments, and come to every Saturday half-hour morning time for me. Just a conversation about astrology and my live premiere, live members only live stream, and see if you'd like to join the channel. Second of all, I am so delighted to still be selling. By the time you get this, I think some of you will be able to still get my All Signs 2026 video bundle. And that means there are 12 videos, each is up to 2 hours long or more. And each one of those is for your sign. And if you get the bundle, that means you can listen for sun, moon, and rising, or share with friends and family as digital stocking stuffers, etc. Helps me buy equipment for my channel. It helps me get support staff for my teaching my classes. It helps me create a scholarship fund for students who can't afford the class. So that kind of money is used for those reasons. Please think about supporting the channel and being a part of the fundraiser that I do every year at this time. And also, if you missed the deadline for December 1st, and that's when the videos are deposited into your email box, if you missed that, then you can still buy the same product for $55, and that will run until the end of December. And then we're going to change it to the regular price afterwards. And second of all, you can buy your individual sign in December, not now, not in November. And if you want to do that, it's going to be $33. So it still is more affordable to buy the All Signs bundle. Thanks for listening. Let's go ahead and look at your sign. And hope that's not in the way. We're going to start with your sky, Virgo. Looking at this, this is the ascendant or the rising sign. Did I say Virgo? Yeah, it's Virgo. The rising sign or sun and moon would be in Virgo, as if it's your helmsman, the front of your chart, and you're looking at the whole of the sky from here. That's why we call it sun, moon, or rising. We put the sun in the first house, the moon in the first house. And the first things I want to mention to you are the following themes. We begin the month under the story of a Jupiter trine Saturn, the first 5 days of December. Yes, it's just like November. That trine was through the entire month of November, but Jupiter turned retrograde in November 11th, and on around the 26th of November, Saturn turned direct. So they swapped directions. Same dynamic, different directions. What does it mean? First of all, did you feel it all in the month of November, or even for a long time now? Because Saturn was retrograde for 4 months. Okay, so think about September through until November, even earlier. So the summer through to November, your primary long-term love relationship felt difficult, or your partner was challenged by stuff and they were going inward and being more alone, isolated, or insular. There may have been some troubles in that type of relationship. And if you were feeling that, then Saturn went direct at the end of November, things begin to move forward in that relationship. The whole month of November had 5 retrograde planets. And we're only going to have 2 major retrograde planets in the month of December. So things start to move forward that felt stuck. We all feel the same way, but different areas of our life move forward. One of the areas of your life that moves forward is the committed long-term love relationships. If you have one, it's going to try to beef itself up into moving in together, proposals, getting married, going past dating to super monogamy or whatever. There's a new level that wants to be reached. But hey, Saturn's been testing the long-term love house ever since 2023, and maybe bringing you new relationships that are profoundly karmic, and there's an age difference appearance of significance. If that happened to occur from 23 onward, you started a new relationship. What I want to point at is that Jupiter in the first 5 days of December will be flowing beautifully to your marriage house from the 11th house of good spirit, which is a long range goal, wish, and dream that you have. And because Jupiter's retrograde, you've had it for a long time. And Jupiter's Santa Claus and fairy godfather, and he wants to bring you a wish that you've had for a while, connected to committed love. If you're just looking for someone and you're single, okay, then that's going to be something that the sky will try to fulfill for you. But if it's somebody already in your life, then what I'm saying is that you always wanted to move in, buy a home, travel the world with your partner, whatever it is that you're wishing for. It's to stabilize the partnership into a new level of success. Otherwise, it looks like you could also get a new lift from your career gains and new profits in a different way. And it could possibly be coming through a new opportunity or offer to succeed financially in your career. And where the whole trine in the first 5 days is, it's contractual agreements. It's new terms of service. It's signing on some dotted lines, and things are finally moving in the direction that you really wished it would move in. And you're so grateful for that. Happy to see the changes occurring in the career, work, and prosperity and profits from your career in a way that serves you. On December 1st to the 3rd, Venus sextiles Pluto. Okay, so Venus is like, love, pleasure. She's in Sagittarius. She's at the bottom of your sky. She moved into Sagittarius at the beginning of the month, right here, like December, really like November 30th. And she'll be in Sagittarius, by the way, all the way until the 24th of the month of December. So it looks like you're going to be working with Venus in the 4th house. What is that for? Love in the home, beauty in the home, friends in the home, social and enjoyment and time in the home, pleasure in the home, but also decorating the home, painting the home, designing the home, a woman, a female visiting you in the home. These are things that could be occurring for you during this transit. And that is all the way till the 3rd week of December. And as she enters into this part of the sky, the first thing you feel that's happening is she's talking about December 1st, 2nd to the 3rd, an opportunity that brings you joyful pleasure connected to Pluto in your 6th house. Now, it could be a work from home opportunity. It could be a new pet. It could be some debt relief connected to a family of origin member helping you pay down debt, like mom, dad, up the line, granddad. But it could also be something to do with beginning of a rental property agreement opportunity. Pluto would be powerfully offering you in the house of rentals, servitude, right? A lease of some sort. Now, December 1st to the 3rd, you might hear about it, right? You might learn of a property rental opportunity of some sort. And she'll be there to try to give it to you through till December the 24th, when she's still in Sag. You got a pet under this, and some of you might be tempted to do that. Of course, Venus is in the house. She rules. She's talking to Pluto. Pluto is pets. One thing I'd say, yes, you could do that. You could get a pet, but be a little bit careful. With Mars also down in the 4th house, you could get a pet with some kind of challenge to their health, like inflammation or heat in the body or something. I would kind of avoid a brand new pet under this sky. Just that would be my take on it. But if you got a pet with the sun down here, it'd likely be a rescue pet from the pound. It wouldn't be a brand new breed or kitten or cat or dog. So just be careful you get all the tests done on the pet and make sure that pet is healthy. On December 4th, a full moon happens at 13 degrees of Gemini. So there was something back in like the 3rd week of May to 3rd week of June we would have had behind us. We'd had a new moon. So during the 3rd week of May to June, 3rd week of June, you planted a seed in your 10th house of career. Maybe you thought back then, I want to start something new. I want to change something about the work I'm doing. I want to make a new beginning in my work, career, and reputation. That includes reputation. Like I'm engaged, I'm married, I'm getting, like announcements we make to the world to do with our, status and social standing. And you had an inkling of what you might have wanted there. And now the moon wants to fulfill that or complete that or bring it to a ripening, harvesting energy. But it also, anytime a full moon falls up in the 10th house, it could indicate a period of time it will relinquish you of or complete your job or career that you're currently in. This is true every year. So obviously you don't keep changing your job every year. But this time around, with Mars opposing the moon and all of that, which is cut, severed. And there may be a change of home connected to a change of job. There may be a change of job connected to a change of home, but this is going to play out more likely, right? The moon is coming on December 4th. Give it up to, please give it up to, at least 2 to 3 weeks for evidence of this to be true, and up to 6 months for the complete fulfillment of this. At the time of the moon, Mercury is in Scorpio, not quite looking at it very clearly, but he will move into your Sagittarius sky, and we'll get to that. But when he does do that, that's when the new job or new career path might occur. And if that was to be true, that's after December 12th. So from December 12th to January 1st, new job, new career direction, change of home and career, and interrelated matters. The moon is full, and she's going to try to fulfill something that you really desired. All right. She is a ruler of your career gains house, more profits from your career, more money. Jupiter's trying to deliver it. He's retrograde. If there was a career opportunity in the past that didn't work out, or a raise, promotion, or increase of salary that you expected, or some perk, now it could come back to you after all, coming off the December 4th lunation. Raises, promotions, bonus checks, etc. It is Christmas bonus season, and there just may simply be the fulfillment of a bonus check, for goodness sakes. If you're working. If you're not working, then a fulfillment of desire to get a job, it might finally arrive on your doorstep. Not too bad, a time to take an interview. You might be lucky and actually get the job too, but not until December 12th. I think getting the job requires Mercury moving into your 4th house after December 12th. All right, continuing on, we have a story then that Mercury will trine Jupiter, and then Mercury will trine Saturn between the 5th to the 7th, followed by the 7th to the 9th. It's a double hit, right? Mercury is going to continue trundling along, and he wants to get into a position in our sky on the 5th to the 7th, where what he is engaging in is a water trine flow to Saturn. Saturn is direct after November 26th. Your relationships going direct. Your audience marketplace relationships are going direct. He's in a marketing, selling, writing, traveling, communicating house, Mercury. You and your partner make that trip, finally get that trip arranged. You and your significant other are ready to travel. You're ready to get that contractual agreement regarding a local establishment job. You're ready to move forward on a sibling relationship agreement. You're ready to move forward on a learning opportunity connected to career gains, professional education, for example. Now, when Mercury's in the 3rd house, he's a protector of travelers, and we often do take shorter distance trips here in our local environment or in our state or city or something like that, closer at home. And Mercury might open up a travel opportunity for you around the 5th to the 7th with a significant person in your life. And then what happens next is Mercury then moves, first he's flowing to Jupiter, and then he's flowing to Saturn. So it's like both things are true, increasing your chance of travel from or with a friend. And then by the 9th, connected to your significant other. I also would encourage you, if this is something that you are doing, if you're writing, if you're teaching online, if you're a social media person, this could be a very luscious time for all of those things for you, where you're going to have some really good success, commercial success that has an enduring long tail outcome and increases your revenue. So you could start setting up a new website. It will be successful. A new social media platform or strategy. It will be successful between December the 4th, 5th through to about the 9th, 10th at the latest. It's a nice golden love up of a big water triangle, a water trine there. And that is really a flowing opportunity for you. Some of you will just be traveling, but it can also increase career prosperity, especially if you use digital, online, and social media networks to run a career path or part of your career path. On a really practical note, you could get like amazing success by getting a client who's going to bring great prosperity if you work in a sales field, right? To you. So, last thing to say about the December 7th to the 10th. Siblings. A sibling, 1 older, a sibling 3 older than you, a sibling 1 younger than you, a sibling 3 younger than you. Like there's a lot of sibling sky activated for you here, and major like travel or events or things connected to siblings. Let's put it that way. Then what happens next is Mars square Saturn, which can be very frustrating and feel like someone is, or something or some situation is hitting a bit of a wall. So Mars is here sitting around the 9th, 10th, and 11th in a place where he ends up bashing against Saturn. And you can even feel it here on the 8th. So 8th, 9th, and 10th kind of vibe. 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. There's something that's hard. And you might be having a hard time with a legal contract regarding property and real estate and land. You might be coming up because Mars loves to move. I mean, he's either going to have, I say, construction or renovations or moving. With Venus, Mars, there's a lot of renovating for beauty in here. But sometimes he just wants to travel from home or move the home. And now we're hitting some legal grit, paperwork grit, I don't know, legal grit, something like that, or conflict with a significant other in your life. Or if you have a client and you work in things to do with property transactions, difficulty with a client. Whatever it is, there is like a feeling of hitting a wall and having to push through some difficulty here. So watch out for domestic conflict over what you and a significant other agree is a direction to go in some area of your life together. So these disagreements in the home can intensify or suddenly pop up in ways you didn't expect. So be careful for that. And again, it's not the end of the world, but it's not fun. December 8th and 9th. What might be my advice? Use Venus and find the peace between you. Find the harmony and love between two people who might be arguing in your home at this time. It could be gritty and gnarly. On December 10th, we'll see, and the 11th, we're going to get into the Mercury story. You know, Mercury is opposite Uranus as we even go through the 8th. And by the time we get here to about the 10th, 9th and 10th, he's right away opposite. This takes you back to November 19th. Can you remember what you were doing November 19th? Because this is what the sky is about. It's 18th, 19th, 20th. There was a full moon and a Mercury Cazimi retrograde at the same degree, opposite Uranus in the same place, more or less. So if you had some unexpected surprises in the third week of November around legal court cases, travel, sibling, two older, one younger, things to do with spiritual community disruptions, international or local travel disruptions with your book publishing, writing, contracts and deals, disruptions with your international travel agenda, like flights delayed, flights canceled, who knows? This kind of weird stuff. I don't know. AI Atlas crashed into the airport and it was shut down. You know, that could have been third week of November for you. It could have been cyber attacks. I mean, I'm recording well before that, November 7th for these videos. So, oh, not too sure what it is. There's a redo. There's more of that coming for you. You could definitely have some significant unexpected developments, but you know, Mercury sextiles your Virgo and Uranus flows to your Virgo nature. So all said and done, it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst I've ever seen. You could have a blowout with a therapist, guide, mentor, or teacher, or a breakthrough with a guide, therapist, mentor, or teacher as well. It could go either way. And it all flows to your long-term committed love house. It flows to your legal contracts and agreements house. There may be unexpected surprises. You know, it could be a wedding proposal. You know, Mercury's the news in the local restaurant, shocking in the 9th house of legal stature and the relationship. Maybe you're going to get a wedding proposal, a move-in proposal, and it just surprises you. Yeah, because Mercury's direct, not retrograde, right? It's going to move you forward in some area of your relationship to a significant person in your life. Okay, or travel plans that are surprising, but may actually go forward where they could have been stalled out around November 19th. On December 13th to the 15th, Mars squares Neptune. Remember how on the 8th and 9th, Mars squared Saturn? So Neptune is the illusion and delusion of our reality, and it's where we have fantasies that are unrealistic. However, this part of your sky isn't you necessarily. It could be your partner, significant other, and they might be going through a time in which they're having some confusion in their lives and some difficulty in their lives. And now Mars is going to defog the windshield of their life so they can see clearly, like the car windshield wipers, a defogger, so they can see through the windshield, which way to go, what direction to move in. Mars is in the fourth house. So again, is it about a decision you guys are trying to make to cohabitate, a decision you're trying to make to go to a new home, a decision you're trying to make together to rent a property out that you own, one of you, like, hey, I'll move in with you, but I'm not selling my place. I'll rent my place. Are you trying to make decisions around property, home, land, and real estate and relationship matters? That's kind of the vibe. And I think that Mars is really good at helping clear the confusion out between you or for your person about such matters. And definitely liking the vibe of it, kind of tying in on the ninth to a change of home, because the moon is in Virgo, and the moon has a categorical meaning. It represents one's home. Mars represents mortgages, banks, loans, financing in your chart. This eighth house matters. Definitely a possibility in this case for some Virgos of looking at a financial situation, maybe significantly challenged to get the right contract, the right refi rate, the right mortgage rate. That could be one of the ways this is playing out for you. Absolutely. And if you're going to move, you're changing your neighborhood, like you're probably staying within the same city, this kind of chart, it would be that as well. And we move into the next story. The last half of the month, the 14th onwards, is all squares. That means for the world and each of us, it feels more like we have to make decisions and take actions. And sometimes it feels stressful or conflictual or challenging, right? And the first thing we see is on December 16th to the 17th, Sun squares Saturn. Then on December 20th to 21st, Sun squares Neptune. Sun, Saturn, Sun, Neptune. Energetically, there is a moment here that kind of extends from the 16th to the 22nd or so of the month, just as the holidays are building, that you have a kind of a real light in the midnight hour. The sun is shining in the darkness where it's not comfortable. You might not be sleeping well at this time. And it's with Mars, which is heating things up. Be careful. I hate to say it, but Mars is transiting your fourth house. Don't have a fire. Venus is protecting things. That's probably fine, but you don't want an emotional fire either. So the sun has got a bright light in the midnight hour squaring Saturn. And the sun is the ruler of what you don't see in your chart, which is your past lives, your own self-undoing, you being your own worst enemy, your Leo 12th house. So be careful. It can be that you undo yourself. And Mars, Sun, and Venus are all trining the chironic wound and the shame, betrayal, and abandonment stories. And even wounds around inheritances and shared monies with a spouse. And those wounds and those self-defeating patterns from other lives and your own worst enemy and your stuff could be really kicking in at this time. And you come against a real intense power struggle with your significant other. For example, the sun is in your house of addictions, ruler of the house of addictions. Do you fall off the wagon? Maybe your partner's upset. Do you have any kind of unprocessed trauma from your childhood? It's going to rear its head under the bright light of the sun in the darkness of the midnight hour. And it could impact your significant relationship as you come into argumentative energy with your partner. If you're with someone, don't start a new relationship. If you're single, just stay clear. Do not start something new here. This sky will not serve you at all to start a new relationship with Venus in the fourth house here, not under this sky. Don't date right now. Venus square Saturn as well. Love is hard. Money is hard. Love is hard. December 20th to the 21st. You can see she's going to build up into the square. Kaboom. It's getting closer. And here we have it. We don't want this. This is a difficult energy. It's not fun. And you might feel stressed out as all hell. So as Venus begins to square Saturn, as early as the 18th, 19th, through to about the 22nd, your primary long-term love relationship, your client relationships, your legal contracts and dealings will feel challenging. It will feel difficult for some reason. It can be like the marathon. It can be like the endurance test for love or financial matters connected to your home. When Mars was transiting through there and he leaves that part of your chart, he was there, but he's been there for a while. When he leaves your fourth house on December 15th, Well, that means that before December 15th, like most of November to December 15th, there's a possibility of some problem going on with a family of origin member, mom, dad, great grandparent, I don't know who, and difficulties with their health. And the sun rules the house of hospitals. And that might have all been the backdrop of churn in your home. It's just collaterally damaging your significant relationships. It's not the problem. It's that you're going through a family of origin trauma story, and it's making turbulence in your life with your partner. All right. Then we're going to notice, as I said, that, Venus squares Saturn, but then as we move forward, she then squares Neptune. Everyone does the same thing, right? There's a whole parade of Saturn, Neptune. Your partner in your relationship, or your significant other, or whatever, or if you don't have one, then don't worry, just your relationship with clients, audience, marketplace, and a major other people in your life is under a lot of intense energy. And when I think about this guy and I think about, okay, now Venus is going to square Neptune, well, that's taking the rose-colored glasses off of your relationship to some other person that is like a spouse, right? Either they're seeing more clearly or you're seeing more clearly what is going to be possible, true, and real in this relationship. And it has a bit of a deal breaker energy, because if this relationship isn't going to work for you, you're going to come into that north-south node crucible where your relationship is under eclipse energies with Saturn and it's being tested. So this is a very delicate time, that second half of December, for those of you in partnership. Otherwise, a delicate time with your clients, your marketplace, your audience, and your legal contractual agreements, especially regarding property. You really wanted the property, it didn't work out, deal breakers happen, things like that. You're trying to buy or sell, obstacles are in the way, especially regarding buying and selling. On December 19th, a new moon happens at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. This new moon, new beginning, fresh start, all right, means that likely that for some of you, there's going to be major changes in what you do in the home, the way the home looks, or what maybe you're going to move your home. If you're going to do any of those things, the moon says fresh start, new beginning. Venus says pleasure, joy, and good things happen in this move or change of home. And then Mercury says contracts, deals, and negotiations. He doesn't see the fine print in Sagittarius. This can be a new moon, new beginning for rental property agreements and fine print. This could be new moon, new beginnings for buying, selling real estate and property. This is a new beginning, fresh start. Venus wants it to work. She exalts your house of significant relationships, so she'll try to make it work with someone else. She supports you to make more income and money in this life. So this change of home or whatever, if you sell a home, you've got more money in your possession. If you move your home, you can get more work done in it because there's a better office space in the new home. It's really lovely. And now she does collaterally also own your ninth house. So you might get some change of home connected to a foreign person buying your home, or maybe I don't think many of you will move to a foreign land under the sky. It doesn't feel like that's true to me, but there's definitely significant home changes coming. It can be purchase, buy, sale, rental, mortgage negotiation agreements and contracts. But it hasn't been a bed of roses. And the new moon that starts up on December 18th, 19th will give you a 2 to 3 week indicator that things can move forward in a fresh way regarding your home life, domestic life. Someone moves in, someone moves out, a child moves out. Mars is going to move into your fifth house for the second half of November into January 23rd. A child moves out of your home, spacious space. You got an office space. If you have kids at home, some of that Mars transit could have been fighting with the kids, right? November into mid-December. Yeeks. Fresh start, new beginnings. Ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's in the house of career gains, friends and allies and benefactors. Some of you could move in with a good friend or a sibling if there's going to be a change of home under this as well. Okay, so when we get to the end of the month, Mercury square Saturn. Mercury square Saturn is communication that is difficult, conversations that are hard, contractual negotiations and deal making that is strained. This is very tight on the 30th, but I could say the last 3 days of the month will bring us this tension. So here we have Mercury, the last guy left in the fourth house after the parade of planets moves to the fifth. squaring Saturn. If it's about contractual agreements around real estate and property, he is at least flowing to the chironic wound to try to heal some financing, banks, mortgages, loans, and debts. But he's squaring Saturn. That can be difficulties with the details of the contract. That can be difficulties with your partner in relationship to that contract, whether it's the buyer of the property or it's your partner who's buying it with you, etc. And conversations in the home with somebody in the home, especially a significant person in your life, they're hard conversations. And we need to be careful. Mercury's not in good condition. You can kind of speak untruly when he's here. Lies, not lies, but confabulations or untruths can be spoken in and from the home, connected to significant others. I don't like this energy for signing a contract or deal unless you really scrutinize the fine print with an expert to make sure that you're not missing something that you can't see. You'll notice that all the planets have moved into the 5th house, and this is a fertility transit. So you or your person could get pregnant under this transit, or one of your children could have a baby or conception under this transit. And so Venus will be in Capricorn, that fertility transit, and she'll be in her joy, which is very powerful here. This is the good news. She enters there December 24th. So you're lightening up a bit, having more fun, having more enjoyment of life, playing, having a good time, playing games or something, December 24th to January 17th. But it also is a very birth a baby book, birth a baby business, get a baby born, one of your kids gets pregnant, all of that's possible. And the energy here shows a lot of sexual passion with Mars and Mercury together. Your sex life and your romantic life, December 24th to January 17th is definitely picking up. And with the sun here shining a light in the house of the artist, the muse, and the creative impulse, you're going to be very creative. And Venus just adds fuel to the fire. And that's a nice transit for you that begins December 24th all the way to mid-January. But more importantly, in January, Venus will join the sun and so will Mars. And this is rare for Mars. For Mars, it's decades rare. For Venus, it's 4 years rare. And they're going to reset that part of your chart. Venus for 9.5 months. And Mars for 2 years. And it means major changes in your life, Virgo, around your children, around being a grandparent, regarding matters to do with entrepreneurial business, creative and artistic endeavors, and sex and romantic life. So it can bode for many of you having a brand new start, like almost like a reset button in those things. But I will be doing a very deep dive video into that. But when I see the moon exalted with Uranus as this is approaching, I'm like the sky I'm looking at right now, it smacks of accidental pregnancy and conception for one of your children or for you and your partner. So if you don't want a baby, be very careful. Otherwise, enjoy the ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing, especially the January video. I'm going to do some deep dives into this rare Mars reset cycle, explain how it works and how it resets your life for 2 years in a new direction in the Capricorn sky and what it means. So check out that video coming in early January. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Check out my All Signs bundle and maybe hit the join button or see what the membership's about. There's only one tier. I don't have time to get complicated. I would love to see you in my YouTube members area only. Get to know some of you a little bit better. Ciao, ciao.